Hi, it's Arnie with the Monday Morning Cafe. Here's my coffee again. Hope you have your coffee too. Welcome, glad to have you. And today, again, the whole idea is to help salespeople with their business and how to do better on calling on realtors to sell more home warranties. But today I want to go a little bit aside from that, and I want to talk about productivity, your own productivity. And I went to a seminar one time in Nashville, Tennessee, and I learned something from the speaker there, and I've used it, and it's worked. So I wanted to just pass it along. And so what the heck am I talking about as far as productivity? I call it VAs. What is a VA? VAs are valuable activities. You know, probably you make a list. A lot of people make a list of what they want to accomplish the next day or what they want to do today. And it'll have 10 or 15 or 20 items that you want to try to accomplish, and so on. And then you'll pass them along to the next day and the next day, and you know, you're dealing with hundreds of things. And we all have many things that we have to try to accomplish every day, that's for sure. But let me tell you this concept. This concept is that there are valuable activities, and valuable activities only have to do with money. They basically have to do with money and in really important type things. And so the program is this. You pick 4, and you do this the night before. You pick 4 valuable activities, just 4, and those become your goal for the next day. Now you may have some others listed, but those 4 are your valuable activities. Here's some samples of valuable activities. One might be go to the school board meeting today. Now you say, why is that a valuable activity? Well, the school board meeting could lead to a lot of business because it's in the neighborhood. There's homeowners there. Those that maybe need to sell their house or know somebody that's buying a house and so on. So that's pretty valuable. Another one might be to review the closing documents for the closing coming up on Friday. That might be a valuable activity. There's a lot of ways to create valuable activities that are truly valuable and have to do with money. They're really more important than other types of activities. The idea is to do those 4 and accomplish them. And the next night, or that night, I guess, when you look through what you've accomplished that day, you want to put down, and you can do this in writing, you can do it on your computer every night. You put down, did you accomplish that valuable activity or did you not accomplish that valuable activity? There's no middle ground. I did 50% of this valuable activity. No, it's a yes or a no. Did I accomplish it? Yes or no. If it's a no, here's the crazy part. There's no carryover to the next day. You cannot carry over a valuable activity to the next day as a valuable activity. You have to come up with 4 new ones the next day. Now you can carry it over as another activity you want to accomplish, but you create 4 new activities every day. I'll tell you what it did for me. It got me focused to the point where I accomplished those 4 activities each day. And it kept me focused, and I drilled down to get those done. It's kind of amazing how I was able to do that. So the idea behind it again is to just do 4. I know we have many more things to do every day, but these 4 valuable activities are important. So now the next day you do 4, and the next day you do 4, and so on. The amazing part about what that really is that in a year, let's take 50 weeks, if you do 4 a day, that's 20 a week, that's 1,000 a year. That means you've done 1,000 valuable activities in that year. That's got to create more money for you. Let me give you an example. I started doing the valuable activities, and I was accomplishing more than I'd ever done in my life. I really was. And then I kind of fell off the wagon. You know, I was doing this every night. I would post in my computer 4 new activities, and I would jot down which ones I did and which ones I didn't do that day and so on. And I kind of fell off the wagon doing it, and I got away from it. And a couple months later, I just felt like I was stagnant. And all of a sudden I went back on the program and started doing 4 valuable activities a day. And you guess what? I accomplished more than I ever did again. So it really works. It worked for me, and it's really worked. So again, I suggest you do 4 VAs every day. It really works. Now, along with that, I don't know how many of you set goals, and I recommend you do some goals. And goals are really kind of weird in that sometimes you do long-term goals, you do short-term goals. Usually realtors do a year's worth of goals and so on. So a realtor may do something like this, where they say, okay, I want to do 3 closings a month. I want to do 36 transactions next year. So here's what happens. In January, maybe there's a big ice storm and you can't get much done, and you end up doing 1 transaction in January. Now, what happens is you're now 2 behind, right? Because you're supposed to do 3 a month. And it puts on all kinds of pressure. And it creates pressure. It's negativity. Oh, I'm behind. So now in February, let's say you do 2, and now you're 3 behind, and so on. And now you need to do 6 the next month. That's all it does is create negativity. I say do what they call a rolling goal. A rolling goal is 12 months, but you forget the last month, and you just start another 12 months. So let's say in January you only do 1, you're 2 behind, forget about it. Don't even worry about it. Okay, go to the next 12 months. Forget about January, start 12 months in February. That's called a rolling goal. So between 4 valuable activities and a rolling goal calendar, let's say, that alone can create a lot of activity, can create more productivity than you're ever used to in the past. So give it a try. Thanks.